and listening to Tags Live, aka Talk About Gay Sex, the live edition. And I'm your host, Stevie. This is episode 405 alongside Kodi Maurice Doggette, showing the cleavage tonight. How you doing, Kodi?
These old things. Hello, darling. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I see got
a little something for the girls out here.
Yes, absolutely. We have got a jam-packed show on this October 5th when we record it. We're live streaming in front of a virtual audience. Hello to everybody. Feel free to chat in the comments section. A little bit later in the show, we are bringing up two of the creators of a brand new short film called Last Call. Can't wait to bring them up, get into their film, the inspiration. We're talking male escorts. We're talking daddy issues, all that good stuff coming up a little bit later in the show. But before we go, we've got to talk about, we've got a lot to talk about, Kodi, but it's fall, it's autumn. And I wanted to talk with you and Jeremy on the show the other day about fall goals, plans, anything you're looking forward to. I always like to kind of reset each season and look forward to certain things. For summer, it was the summer of fun because after a broken ankle, I was getting out in the city and I did so much and I documented it all summer long. And I had a fabulous summertime. I can't tell you enough about it. You were there for parts of it, including roller skating in Central Park.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll just tell you really quickly what I'm looking forward to this fall. I'm finally back to travel post-pandemic, and I'm going to a friend college buddy's wedding in Puerto Vallarta, actually in Nayarit, the state of Nayarit, which I'm really excited about it. It's an all-white wedding, and I feel like Billy Idol. And I got this top that is long and flowy, but it's cool. It's sleeveless and it crisscrosses. But what I didn't realize is it shows my stomach off. And I am on
in the wintertime?
In Mexico.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Come on now. It's going to be showing my abs, which I don't currently have right now. And I am on a 6-week diet workout regimen to get to that. And it started Monday and I'm sore as F. And we're going down the path. I will make it work.
Nice.
One way, Tim Gunnett, and I'm excited. I will take this for you guys watching and let you know my progress. You can follow us at TAGSPodcast. But what's some of your autumn 2022 goals, inspirations?
You mean besides pumpkin spice lattes? That's the main thing, basically.
Okay, Christian Walker.
Oh my God, I'm leaving now. I can't believe I like something that he likes. Like what? We're gonna get into it, but yes, I'm also looking forward to being able to go and meet and spend Thanksgiving with Joe's family. It's going to be so wonderful. Also for, just to be with my family and to be with my loved ones and just to do the things that, I really enjoy doing during the fall. There's not a whole lot. I really love the summer the most. So I'm just going to be in my house watching cartoons or whatever, but we'll see what happens.
Alan W. watching us live because we're streaming live says, Steve, post pictures of the shirt after the wedding. Want to see it? Sounds sexy. I will.
Oh, yeah.
I'll post as leading up to it. I have no choice. My sister, who I'm going with, said, you're very daring setting an outfit out that shows everything. And, but goals. You got to have goals. So I'm looking forward to it. Right. I will post
It'll keep you nice and tight.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, we've got to get into the hot topic that has been purveying the entire political sphere. And we don't really talk about politics here on a gay sex podcast, but when it coincides and crashes, and these days it has been, we're talking about Christian Walker, the social media guy who's been posting on TikTok. And the last time we talked about Christian Walker, who is gay, who is also extremely far right, Republican, Christian. He says this all in his videos. who lived in LA, who recently relocated to Miami because he couldn't stand California's woke, his words, and liberal values. He's embracing Governor DeSantis and praising him for all the things he's doing for banning books about LGBTQ.
Don't say gay.
You don't say gay. What I didn't realize is he's the son of Herschel Walker, and I follow my politics, and it's so weird that I didn't know this until last night. We'll tell you in a second if you haven't been following the story. Herschel Walker's running for state senate in Georgia against Raphael Warnock, and Herschel Walker is Republican, former NFL football player for like the NFL for the Cowboys.
Oh, really?
And for a few other, I wrote down the Minnesota Vikings. I wrote down the Philadelphia Eagles, so on and so forth. Not a lick of political background, but is running for state senate. Why is he running and so far along? Because he's now up in the primaries, is because Donald Trump put him there and endorsed him. So I didn't realize Christian Walker was the son of him until yesterday when it all came out. So the father, Herschel Walker, has come down on Roe versus Wade and says that he does not stand for abortion at all. And that includes rape and incest.
Wow,
he came out strong.
Horrible.
However, we found out yesterday that he apparently, and there is receipts, you guys, that he gave money to his ex-girlfriend to get an abortion. And also the other receipt is a card where he said, "I hope you get well soon." His signature, his handwriting. The Daily Beast has shown the facts on that.
Wow.
It's pretty clear and cutthroat. Christian Walker, who is conservative, we just said that, is coming down on his father for saying things like he was an absentee father and that essentially he's been the father of 4 children by different moms, and he's been absent for all of them. And Christian says him and his mother are the way they are and been suffering. It affected me, he says, with a father that's been absentee father. This is why he is the way he is. So it really, Kodi, gave me insight to why Christian is so obnoxious and out loud, because
you said it.
He basically has stated, I come from a broken family. And we all know that sometimes when people come from broken families, it can come out that way. But what I think is poetic justice is he's actually going to be doing the Democratic Party good by coming out against his father. And I'm hoping in the end that we actually get more Senate seats because people will vote for Raphael Warnock over his dad. And he's actually doing us a favor by coming out against his dad. What were your thoughts when you heard about this?
Who would have thunk it? First of all, that Christian Walker would be doing us a favor. And then this is that I would actually be agreeing with him on anything. Like, this guy is so, like you said, obnoxious. His viewpoints are so backwards, and I can't even believe some of the things that come out of his mouth, because he is so against he calls them Christian values, and he's so against all the things about progression. You told me a story about how he was upset in a Starbucks because they were displaying pride flags still. And it was past, I guess it was July when this altercation happened. And he was talking to Kehlani, who I love. I love her new album. And that
I gotta get it.
Alter. It's so good. You have to listen to it. But Kehlani, he didn't know that Kehlani was there and warning all of the people that worked there, the employees, about him, that he was this idiot from TikTok. And he went in there and confronted him. They had a whole confrontation. It was
because
horrible.
He was essentially saying, why does this Starbucks have all these gay pride flags, LGBTQ flags? several weeks after Pride, but why don't they have an American flag? And he was all up on about Americana and they need to post an Americana. And it was just obnoxious. And because they don't have to, motherfucker, they don't have to do anything they don't want to. And they can keep Pride flags up all year round. Some people keep Christmas lights up all year round. Do we get mad at them? Do we call them out? No, we drive by and we nod and we go, oh, they still got their Christmas lights up. Oh well,
take a picture next
whatever
to them.
you want, and fuck off, Christian. But he's helping the cause right now, so I'm kind of secretly happy.
But I thought that it was really great that he actually spoke up against his father and called him out, because he still has pictures up with him and his father on his Instagram. I looked at it today and I was dumbfounded that he could actually speak out against his father. But I guess it's his dad. So there's these multiple feelings that you have when it comes to your family. They can do you wrong and you can still love them no matter what. And Herschel Walker has actually come out and said that he still loves his son no matter what. So we'll see how this pans out. I really hope that it is good for the Democratic Party, like you said. And hell must have froze over, because I agree with Christian Walker.
I know. You kind of get a little insight onto his background, and I'm secretly here for this Real Housewives real life drama.
I know, right?
He's playing out in front of us. We will continue to talk about it, I'm sure. All right. Well, we've got to move on. There is a recent the title, excuse me, I'm getting all the Kingpins in alleged counterfeit HIV drug ring have been nabbed. So Gilead Sciences, who we all know, they do PrEP, Truvada, discovered 2 kingpins thought to mastermind the ongoing counterfeit HIV medication scheme. So it's this pharmaceutical company scored a big win in their fight to stop the distribution of counterfeit bottles of HIV drugs produced under their name. And on September 28th, the U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly issued an order to freeze the assets of more than 50 defendants newly added to Gilead's ongoing lawsuit targeting people accused of operating the nationwide scheme. Mm-hmm. Reuters actually reported that 2 of the newly added defendants are alleged kingpins Lazaro Roberto Hernandez, who is currently under house arrest for other counterfeit and money laundering charges, and Armando Herrera. Gilead was able to identify the 2 men by matching the approximate locations of their disposable burner cell phones with their flight records. So what's crazy about this is, and I'm glad they caught them, is can you imagine if you were taking meds to save your life that were counterfeit, and who knows what the hell they are? I'm just so glad that, the one thing we can say about the U.S. is we are on top of this kind of espionage thing when it's going on. There are people, that's why there are cameras everywhere, and I'm not mad at it sometimes, because I am not mad at it, because to catch these,
I hear what you're saying.
This is, like you said off camera earlier, it's so lascivious to think that people would do that. I mean, it's happening with fentanyl every day. People are losing their lives. So what were your thoughts when you heard this?
I just thought it was so insidious. They should bury these people under the jail, and I'm just so glad that they caught them, because it's despicable what they did. And when you mess with something that keeps people alive, like healthcare, like this, then you deserve whatever's coming to you. You deserve to be prosecuted to the utmost of the law. So I'm glad they caught them.
What's interesting in the story is they never said what was the drug. So what did they counterfeit it with? Were you taking a placebo? Were you taking something like a fentanyl that could actually kill you? I mean, it's just crazy. Obviously, you weren't taking the meds that you needed to save your life.
Yeah.
That is so frightening and scary. And
I wonder.
It's a movie coming with all of this. And all right. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. And we hope everyone is safe with this. We have 2 more. Oh, do we have anything people are saying before we move on? We forget we're live.
Alan W. says, how do people buy the fake PrEP? Should you should be careful of the source of your prescriptions. And I think that they I think you told me offline that they actually sent it to the pharmacy, right? They were distributing it to the
I
pharmacy.
believe so. We didn't get a lot of info on the actual medication, but the company initially warned of counterfeit circulation in August of 2021, and then they filed a civil suit against a network of small drug distributors. So it was their
Mhm.
distributors that were getting it.
Okay.
So, but you know, things can get mashed up and mixed up, and I mean, pharma is nuts. The pharmacy, oh, that's really scary. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
According to absolutely. Okay, I think yes, we have time for. So this next story I label "stupid people doing having public sex," and
It's my favorite thing.
yeah, and it's not us gays, it's straight people. So
Oh,
recently there was a
no.
naked, so, you know, on the show, if we wanted to, there's a site that we follow to get some of our information about, and inevitably every week, 2 to 3 times per week, there is a story of a naked man roaming around a certain part of the country at random
Okay.
hours of the day. It's usually some during the day. Sometimes they are at an amusement park. Sometimes they are in a construction site. Sometimes they are in someone's backyard. And if we run into, it's not that interesting to talk about, but
Mhm.
for some reason, there was a plethora of naked men running around town. I don't know if it's mental illness, if we've lost our minds, if it's COVID related. Who
If I paid them,
knows?
I might have paid them.
But they are getting caught left and right. Well, I don't really feel the need to ever talk about this stuff until I saw this latest story where a naked man wearing a pup mask, now you know puppy play, pup
Oh,
mask,
yeah.
was seen walking around a Virginia neighborhood. What I love about straight up gay porn, Zach, who writes for them, it's his site, said maybe he was on his way to an audition for one of those helix scenes. And then he wrote, nah, too old.
Oh, no. We
So
don't we don't age shame
he
here.
threw some shade at the age, and I think people were there was a guy. So imagine this: it's a beautiful fall Sunday, as they write, morning, and you're driving in your car when suddenly you see a masked naked man standing outside in broad daylight. That's exactly what a Fairfax resident says happened yesterday, and it happened at the corner of Hawthorne Avenue and Belmont Street in an
Oh.
apartment in front of an apartment building. Quote, me personally, I feel traumatized by what I saw, said the witness, who spoke on condition of anonymity. He says he was getting gas Sunday morning around 10:15 a.m.
Not
when
getting gas.
yes, when he saw the masked naked man. This weird panic set in, like I saw something I shouldn't have seen, he said. What's this guy doing out there? He shouldn't be doing this. It was very strange, adding that the mask on it made it even worse. I really didn't understand what was going on. I think
What in the
so.
world?
And I was telling you offline that I think
That's
he
like a
got
Thursday in New York, by
this
the
just
way.
happened the other, so it was a Sunday morning, last Sunday morning, I believe, or 2 Sundays ago, was Folsom Festival in San
Yeah.
Francisco. I think he mixed up and he woke up and thought, oh shoot, it's Folsom Street Fair, and let me put on my mask and run out, which is acceptable at the Folsom Street
It
Fair.
is.
He just forgot to get
So
on
I
his
wanna go.
flight and make his way over to SFO and go to the actual
He was
festival.
just 30,000 miles away. That's
It
it. That's all.
happens.
It happens. It's
I
happened
put
to
on a
me.
cock ring all the time, and I'm like, where are you going, Steve? You're going to Whole Foods. Take off the damn cock ring. Nobody cares. Take off the
Wait a minute.
harness.
Grocery shopping, that's how you get a man, honey.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
And Whole Foods? Oh, you got money. Okay. You better do it.
Or Trader Joe's. But yeah.
Trader Joe's is just as lovely. Trader Joe's is just as
What is
lovely.
going on? Have people lost their mind?
I think so. I think that a lot of people are just have been cooped up for so long in their homes,
Yeah.
and now they don't know how to act outside. So Yeah, if it was me, I might have been naked as well. But I've learned from previous experiences that I probably shouldn't be doing that. So, yeah. What do you think?
I agree with you. I think people are not as smart. We were going to report it. We don't have enough time, but there was another story about people having sex in Ohio at an amusement park. One girl had her hand down her boyfriend's pants and stroking his dick. Another one had sex on a Ferris wheel at the same amusement park. They both got caught. If you're going to have outdoor sex, take a note from the gays. Don't get caught unless you're George Michael. Unless you're George Michael and you can afford to write a song about it and call it Outside. If you can't do that like George Michael did, you have no business having outdoor sex and doing it in public. That's my last word.
I love that song. It's one of my favorites. Let's go outside.
I'll read some of the comments if you can bring up our guest.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, see if you can do this, Kodi, because we're live. Hello,
guys.
Okay, it works. Awesome, perfect. Well, we want to welcome our special guest, Ryan Czerwonko. Did I say that right, Ryan?
Yeah.
Awesome, and Rosie Soko.
Hey.
Hello. They are the film editor. Rosie is the cinematographer and editor, and Ryan directed and stars in the brand new short film called Last Call. And just to give a little synopsis that you guys wrote about it, it's about a New York hustler with the James Dean obsession who goes on an escort call with a much older man, forcing him to confront his daddy issues. And I want to say, first and foremost, I watched the film twice. I love the film so much. And I love the moodiness of it. I want to talk to you a little bit in a minute, Rosie, about shooting it. But I have to ask, you wrote on your website page that the inspiration, Ryan, came from personal experiences of grief and sex work. Now, I know you directed it. How much of yourself did you bring to the character? And are we talking the sex works or the grief side?
Look, they're interchangeable. No, but
grief and sex work, they go together like
they do.
Yeah. Okay.
The script was written by my friend Joey Merlot, who's a wonderful playwright, and this was his first screenplay. And he and I were looking for something to make together, and we're both huge Tennessee Williams fans, so we were kind of like brainstorming about stuff like that. And then I remembered I had this experience where back in the day when I wasn't making as much money off of acting, I would do art modeling.
Okay.
And I used to get some art modeling gigs off of Craigslist. And
don't we miss Craigslist?
art modeling.
It was. So anyway, I found this one ad one day, and it was you remember there would be pictures, and then it would be I guess you still do that, just not with sex, but it was like a bunch of like guys with pompadours, like James Dean types, things like that,
love it.
What's his name? Patrick Swayze, shit like that. And the ad was I want like masculine men with great hair, pompadours, 1950s style, and I want you to come over and I want to style your hair.
Oh,
wow.
That's it. So that was the kink. And I went over to this much older gentleman's house, apartment in the Upper East Side or something, and he styled my hair for hours and told me stories and all of this stuff. And then it went somewhere else, and I declined to go farther. But anyway, it was a very strange experience, and we took the idea of that and combined it with the character is going through this thing with his father, and Joey's father recently passed away, So we kind of like took those two ideas and made a new thing about it. And then to answer the second half of the question, the character um, in the making of the film, I emphasize things I want to do as an actor. I don't think it's really me. I mean, it is me because it's me, obviously, but it's more of what I wanted to do as an artist rather than like literally me.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. I love that. And I also love how Last Call is so raw and nuanced. Can you tell us a little bit about your process and choosing to make it so grounded and it just really felt gritty? Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
You know, I directed it, but Rosie was totally my co-creator. You know, she's the visuals, and that's obviously it's a film.
Yeah.
So and Rosie has so much to do with the mood that you were talking about earlier. So why don't you answer, Rosie?
Well, I think that it really has a lot to do with the fact that we were just doing something. We had worked on other things before, but you know, Ryan and I think as a like a philosophy, we believe that we are living in like a really cool, where everything's like democratic. Like you can, you know, get a fucking iPhone or whatever the hell you have, and you can tell a story. And that was exactly where we were at. We were like, I think that I'm really the most proud of that idea that I think that there's so much tech shit, and it's broy and it's masculine and it's all these people that have all these ideas about technology. And we were just like, let's do this. Because guess what? We want everybody to do this. And we just, uh, even though we have a lot of, Orion is an incredible actor. I have a lot of, background in, photography and lighting and all that stuff. We just made this thing. It was the winter. We were in a quarantine and we just did it.
And
And
you know, we had a crew
I
of
know.
like five. It was like five people, and
Yeah.
we've been to some festivals, and we're not throwing shade at the other films, but it's like these things have crews of like 40. It's like it's a short film, baby. It's a
We
short
Wow.
were
film. Like what the fuck?
we were
Like
watching some of the films on the film festivals that we've been in. There's like 500 people.
you know,
We
and
had
Wow.
like five. We had
it's
five.
it's so clear that people spend. I mean, when people tell me they're spending 30 grand or 50 grand on making a short, I'm just like, not only is that I don't know anyone with that money, I don't know where I would get that money, but it's kind of against my like I wouldn't even need that money to tell something simple
Agreed.
and raw that I
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, one of the things,
I think
Rosie,
that yeah,
oh,
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say that I love that, and that gives me such inspiration to just do it because I'm a wannabe filmmaker and all that. So thank you for that, honestly. One of the things, though, you mentioned it, Ryan, a mood and a coloring, particularly
Yeah.
those scenes in the apartment. We don't want to give away too much, but the scenes in
Yeah.
the apartment with you're the escort, Ryan, in the scene, and it's the client who's of a certain age, African American actor who is brilliant, and from the
Great.
music and the
Keith
vibe.
James. Keith James.
Love that.
He was so incredible. Yeah.
What can you talk about that? Just that vibe that you brought and the grittiness of Brooklyn.
Well, the part of the script is that well it's like what happened to me in real life. It's like an escort or someone who's going somewhere to do something gets involved with this incredibly eccentric older man, and for his house and that kind of feel, Rosie was just cat sitting at this place
I want to go
at
to
this
that house.
at this insane place, this like 4-story mansion essentially in Bushwick with
Uh-huh.
they're antiquers. So there's like all these like
Yeah.
lion skin rugs and dead stuffed hawks and a very
Wow.
Hitchcock, bizarre, so it fit the client's the character is, he's a former wig maker on Broadway, so it just fit in this like eccentric theatrical kind of old fashioned style. But that was all there. We didn't even, it was just there.
I think
You didn't have to touch it.
that's what it is about making a film, though. Like things, that's why everybody should just do it, because
Yeah.
it just leads you where it wants you to go. We had this weird house, and it was just, there's kismet always involved.
And then, together we wanted to make the dangers of the script is that it leans into like trauma
Yeah.
and kind of like sadness, or this type of, but we wanted to create the character of like, he's a 30 something sex worker in Bushwick, and he thinks he's fucking hot shit, and he likes it. He likes doing that. It's not this like he's sad and this is what a last resort or whatever. But we did want to, from we filmed in my apartment, and then we're on the streets of Bushwick a lot, and we shot in a local bar, and we did want to get that feeling, and it was like late February. So, but we did want to get that feeling in addition to the like eccentric, creepy house. We wanted that, it's like the raw feeling of Brooklyn that we all know. And
Well,
we just use that as raw
we
material.
wanted it to be about intention, like there's a trauma culture going on now, and all of us that have lived in New York, why did we come here? Because it's amazing, because the energy is kinetic, because this is, we want to push ourselves to the limit. There's a sadness. There's so many kids running around without a home, without people, without a connection. But yet there's a part of it that those are the people that I think matter, like going out on a limb, coming to a place, leaving your hometown, fucking like doing it. And there's none of that's easy. It's not a cakewalk. So we didn't want it to be like about trauma. We wanted it to be about sort of giving that person some respect.
We wanted it to be about transformation, not trauma.
And you
about
get
transformation.
And you get that in the film, and all the things that we may or may not leave behind, or that we haven't dealt with, that like family is a big issue, father is a big issue.
Right.
In this. I have to ask you, Ryan, though, as a director and the star of the film, people always talk about sex scenes and what it's like to perform in a sex scene as an actor. You not only had a graphic sex scene in the film, but had to direct it. What's it like directing yourself in a sex scene?
Well, there's been a big, it's been like the shift towards intimacy coordinators.
Yes, we were talking about it the other Kodi.
We were,
which is great.
That's hurt myself.
Were you the intimacy coordinator, Rosie?
Rolling my eyes.
She's like,
if there's a great crew, that's not necessary.
But there's been this, and like, I get it on a union set where there's it's like people need to be protected, but in something like this, it's like, girl, we can't even afford to get a fucking whatever. Like, we're not hiring a fucking intimacy coordinator. And we're all adults, and it's like talking about this trauma thing. I don't know. There's this little sense of everyone's very. It's just like it's sex.
Respectful.
We're adults.
Yes.
We're adults. We're artists. Touch me. Like
go for it. Like Rosie.
Yeah, and the film's about like we all signed on because the film is about like sex, like and what it brings from life, and so the creation of those scenes, I mean, the other actor is fucking fantastic and was just a joy to work with and whatever. And we just kind of, we didn't plan it. We just, as we were blocking the scene, we just figured out what was best in terms of like artistically, aesthetically telling the story, and then he and I just went for it. So
Love that.
But
Love
you
that.
know what? What's really cool about that is that I'm a female cinematographer, right?
Mhm.
And so like I'm really like in this. Like Keith had a heart on. It was so
Yeah.
great. Like I
Oh, wow.
loved that.
I saw
Like
it.
he was really
I
like
clocked
there.
it.
I didn't see it. I gotta go back and
Go
watch
back
it
and watch
again.
it, Kodi.
I
Go back
am.
and watch it, and it's
I
a
gotta
nice
watch it for a
one.
third time
Sorry,
It
now.
was pretty epic, actually. But for me, I think that that's such a cool thing. Like the idea that a woman filmed a gay sex scene because
Yeah.
women actually, if there weren't all this bullshit, that people are whatever, to see a man in a vulnerable position gives a woman power. It's so incredible for a woman to see. I as a person that was like filming this and I was doing all the camera work, I felt so honored. Like it's something that can change you as a woman to see a man in a vulnerable position, getting fucked, penetration, That's really fucking cool because we only think we're penetrated or whatever.
Mhm.
And to see a man, it just changes. It's such a great. I was so into filming this because I felt like this is what we need to do in life is just like intermingle with our
Mhm.
sexualities and who we are and what we need to see in our realities. Let's give each other that. I
and you
I,
know
I
I love
never
that.
knew like that's what I needed to see was gay sex, but man, that kind of set me free in a way.
You
and for the
came to
whole
the right
film,
place. Go ahead.
yeah,
What were you saying, Ryan?
for the whole for the whole film, but that scene in particular, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I have some loose suggestions, but like, I'm not being like, Rosie, put the camera right here, and it's gonna be like that. I'm trusting her with that.
We worked
So,
together so
yeah,
well on
so it's
that.
really like, and I
I
trust
wanted to
her.
honor him and what he wanted to be seen as and how I could make Keith James feel like be the you know the I wanted to feel that man. I
Yeah.
wanted to feel his loneliness and his need and his desire. I think that there's something beautiful that a woman can add to that. We
Well, he
shouldn't be
got hard
so.
in it, so clearly you did a good job,
You were
Rosie.
doing something right.
But that's it. But that too, it's like you're doing a
Hey.
sex scene with another actor. Like we're all fucking horny or whatever, and you get hard. Like it's like,
Right.
Hey.
it's like when I've done art modeling before. It's like I don't think I've ever like got a full on boner while I was, but it's
A
exciting.
semi?
It's like it's just a physical response, and we don't
Reaction.
need to be
Yeah.
like, oh, well, like it's a natural physical response, and we're making a film about sex, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just a hard on.
it's just a hard on.
And they're glorious. So I love so many things about this movie, but I really love how you guys chose to highlight underrepresented people in our community, sex
Yeah,
workers, older people, people of color. And I was
yeah.
just wondering about the thought process and how you guys came to that conclusion. What's behind that?
That was all Ryan. Take it
Yeah.
Oh,
away.
Well, what? Why did I? Well, as I told you, the whole thing was just inspired by me. The writer and I were like, oh, big picture. What's this idea? Let's find an idea. Blah blah blah. I want to make it about four interconnected stories and blah, blah, blah. And then I just happened to like be like, oh, one time this guy did this, and then a couple weeks later we were like, wait, why don't we make a film just about that?
hmm
This one little story. And then we started focusing in on it. And uh I'm not going to say I'm like a sex worker, but
You're a hustler, though, like we all are.
Yeah,
Come on now.
We're all hustlers, baby.
I mean,
I've done some things for money,
We've
and I've done this art modeling,
certainly-
and I'm an actor, which is its fucking own version of sex work. So, it's like acting and prostitution are very intertwined, and I've always been super interested in like the film My Hustler from Andy Warhol, and Trash, and Carnal, all those Andy Warhol films about all those like male prostitutes, and the
Right.
Robert Mapplethorpe and all that stuff. So that's kind of what went into that, and then the choice to do the idea of including an older male. It's like the real experience. I mean, part of what terrified me so much about the experience was I was with this older man, and man, he was just so lonely, alone in this little apartment, the Upper East Side, and it terrified me because I thought like, what am I going to be like that someday, or am I just making all this up and judging him, and I don't know anything about his life really? Like, who am I to judge? And that's a theme that definitely runs through Tennessee Williams' work, is like the older vulnerable man and like the rough trade, and so we wanted to like kind of touch on that. And then the writer Joey, it's very important to him to choose to include underrepresented groups in his work, and he wrote it for a black man to play, and he wanted a black man to play it, and that's not what happened in my experience, but we were just being creative, and Keith was just the right guy for the part. So
and I have to say, he really, to piggyback off what you're saying, Kodi, is they think he did represent different communities, but it didn't feel forced in any way, and it just felt natural. And I think the whole issue of aging, the second time, I love a film when you watch it 2 or 3 times, you get different things out of it every single time. And the second time around, I saw different themes, and the whole theme of aging, from an escort aging out of escorting, coming to, we don't want to give too many themes away, but to a man who's hiring an escort and talking about his former lover. The whole thing of aging came about a lot, and I love that you talk about it, because it's kind of it's taboo to talk about aging in Hollywood in general, and I say my age all the time, whether it's right or wrong, but
well, like sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, like the 3 levels of so it kind of, have you ever seen the John Cassavetes movie Opening Night? Well, there's a play.
Of course.
So
I'm putting it on my list.
Of course.
It's my favorite acting. General
Film nerds.
All time.
Jenna.
It's my favorite film of all time. She's amazing. So I didn't directly copy this or in it, but I mean, it's in my subconscious. And in that film, there's an older female playwright, Jenna Rollins, who's a middle-aged actress, and then she starts hallucinating a 17-year-old version of herself. And I kind of took that structure, and I'm like, there's the older male who's ordering the escort. There's me, who's not middle-aged, but is not in like the, is
25 anymore.
Moving out of the full bloom of youth. And then there's James Dean, who is forever young.
Right.
And so I really, in the film, the specter of James Dean is kind of like, he's obsessed with James Dean. He's kind of haunting him. And I wanted it to be about, because, it's difficult for me, like, as I'm trying to level up with representation for my acting career, get more jobs. I mean, people literally say to me, I'm 33, and people say to me, people expect you to have what you have now by 25.
By 25. Wow.
It's insane. And I'm just like, it's
not in New York. You know what,
Rosie, I know this is not a hard and fast rule, but like, people in the industry literally tell me shit like this. and like I'm a man, so I can't even
Yeah.
imagine how it is for
Yeah.
like anyone
Right.
else. And you know, and it's so cruel. So I just, you know, so I'm keenly feeling this sort of like, motherfucker, did I just like fuck my 20s and ruin my life and ruin my shot at this?
No,
And
that's the whole
I'm
thing,
not
you
saying it's real,
know.
but
Right.
I'm saying these are thoughts that I have, and I wanted to explore
That's
that
how
creatively.
that's why our film is so punk rock, because it's just like all of the reality that is fucking New York. Like there's all this veneer that everybody wants to talk about. Oh, we're all doing these things and we're influencers or we're doing I don't know what. But you know what? The vast majority of people might be sucking a dick for a living, you know, like in New York City.
If they're
In New York
lucky. If they're
City,
lucky.
right?
Yeah.
In New York
I
City,
couldn't get a
I
job
mean,
like that,
there's
but
so
I
much.
tried.
I mean, New York is a character in this film. You know,
Yeah.
New York is it's about the fact
Brooklyn.
that they're so also
Bushwick.
about gay kids. Like
Yeah.
how many people that are gay LGBTQ kids that are without homes, that are stuck in some bullshit drug, you know, whatever, you know, because how do you, you know, you can never go home again, you know what I mean? And then that's the acceptance that you have to have. And that's a long motherfucking road to realize you can never go home again. And you
Wow.
have to figure out how to find your home within yourself. And that's what this film was about. How to find your home within yourself.
Mhm.
How to accept what is that your parents hate you because you're gay, because you are doing something that isn't what society accepts, and that the ultimate forgiveness is the forgiveness that you give yourself.
And
Fuck
it's
everybody else,
yeah,
you
and it's
know?
not about blame either. Like I know so many people that are so resentful of the straight community and are so resentful of their families or the circumstances which they grew up in. What I wanted to show with the film is actually when you give in to blame, then consequences that you can't control in your own life happen. So I wanted to make it a sort of like a cautionary tale about like when you let resentment um you know, control your actions, like it leads to possibly tragic, you know, consequences. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, finding a home within yourself, self-reliance, self-efficacy, like those are the, you know, being your taking responsibility for your own life and becoming a real adult, like those are the themes of the film.
Love it.
Well, I love the film. We can't
So
say
do
enough
I.
about it. Congratulations on it. It is screening at, is it the Scene Film Festival in Rhode Island? Is that
Yeah,
SENE?
it's going to be it's pronounced Scene Film Festival in Rhode Island. It's going to screen on October 14th, and we just got into the Indianapolis LGBTQ festival. It's going to
I
screen.
love it.
Congratulations.
They love us
Woo!
in the Midwest, baby. And that's going to screen in November 15th, something like that. So, and then we have it out to a lot of other festivals, and I'm sure we'll get some more acceptances.
And real
So,
quick, if people want to follow the film, is there a way to follow it? A website or something? What's the best way?
you can just follow my Instagram, which is at Ryan Czerwonko. It's my name, just my name.
Well, it's that. And Rosie, how do we follow you?
I'm Rosie Soko.
Easy
Rosie Soko.
breezy.
Yes.
All right. Well, you guys got to see the film when it comes out. If you're going to be in Rhode Island, check out the Scene Festival on October 14th. When's Indianapolis?
November 15th.
November 15th. I love it. And I bet you're just
Fabulous.
going to really excellent. Will you guys stick around though while we have
Yeah,
you to give some
sure.
advice? One of the things we love to do on Tags Podcast is give sex and relationship advice.
Yay.
And
I'm here.
we had somebody write in. It's he writes, "Hey guys, I'm 29 years old and I live in New York City. Okay, I started a new job earlier this year with the company and I'm enjoying work for the most part. I'm 10 months into an amazing monogamous relationship with my boyfriend, but I feel like I'm at a turning point in my life when it comes to relationships and friendships around me. Many of my friendships have evolved over the years, especially the ones I used to go out with regularly. My priorities and interests have changed a lot since my early to mid 20s. I don't party as much nor frequently gay bars
To
like
the
I
club.
used to. The close friendships I've had over the years are still intact, but I don't find that our interests are the same as they once used to be. I make a conscious effort to invite or include them when it comes to plans, but we're just never on the same page. I need some advice on how to make new friends, preferably LGBTQ, while also respecting the boundaries of being in a relationship. And he signs Best JB. He's a new listener to the
Okay.
show.
Easy.
He's Rosie, go. I love it. Because
Okay,
I was
Rosie.
like, oh shoot, what am I gonna say?
Listen, I'm older. Like everybody's like, I read all these things about people and they're like, I don't know how to make friends. I just don't know. Look, you have to absolutely, like, if you're living in your like, if you're really, really being yourself, if you're free, I mean, you don't have something that's pulling you down, even your own mind that's going, oh, I should do this, I should do that, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. Just be free, man. Like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't. I'm not going to tell you my age because, hey,
We don't age shame here, so you
The
can tell
lady.
us.
no, but I'm just trying to tell you, I make friends like they're not going out of style.
Well, what if
And
they're
you
not
know
as
why?
outgoing as you, Rosie?
You
How
know
do you?
why?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not easy for
Okay.
everybody.
I'll give it.
Because I think that even if I'm not that outgoing, I'm so shy. I couldn't even speak in front of people until I was 25. Like I
Really?
was, oh my God, you have no idea. I was fucking gay shamed. Like I was like, oh my God, you don't know what I went through. I went through hell. I was bullied to the nth degree. And so I couldn't speak in front of people until I was 25. And so how I went about it was having an excitement and a passion and just you gotta let people in. You've
Mhm.
gotta just
I'm recording.
but you've gotta let yourself go. You can't just be holding on to like what you think you should be doing or what you shouldn't be doing. Figure out what that means to you, not what people have been telling you.
Okay.
And
And that's what be my
to piggyback off what you're saying, Rosie, and we say it all the time, is hold on to your solidarity. Even if you get into a
yeah.
relationship with somebody, you
Mhm.
still have to hold on to who
You
you
gotta be
are.
your own person.
And the one thing I would say, I set an intention every day. One of my intentions that I meditate on is to connect with those I come in contact. And today I had a great experience with this. Turns out he was a hot masseur, but he was the person and he's going to be my new masseur. But there was no reason for us that we needed to chat, but we connected and I talked, and I do that with everybody. I set that intention every day. And you have to, if you're in big cities or not, put yourself out there and hold on to your solidarity too, even if you're in a relationship. And don't be afraid. My other advice is to move on from friendships that aren't serving you anymore.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. We all get bored in this moment. I really like when I heard that question, I was like, that's a big rite of passage for every single age that you go through. When
Yeah.
you're there and you're up in the club and you're like, oh yeah, and you're trying to dance and you're like, why does this not feel the same way to me why am I bored by this? And
The
you keep doing it, and you
people,
keep doing it, and you keep doing it. And then you're finally like, oh shit, I'm not into this anymore. Just listen to yourself.
yeah, the people
Brian
that you're
Reese-
gonna meet. Yeah, I feel like the people he's gonna meet after this stage are the really rich relationships.
Oh,
That,
I love
because
that.
like it's like we all it's like we all do that where it's like you have friends from college, you have friends in your early 20s, then like mortality kind of hits, and and
Not
I mean,
mortality.
mortality. I'm serious.
But that's always at the back
knees
of our head.
disintegrating.
It's
It is.
true.
It's
It's
behind
true.
everything.
So
Behind
it's
everything.
like, and then once you get past that fear of like, well, if I let go of these people, am I not going to have any friends or whatever? It's like I feel like the people you will meet by being yourself after that are the richer, deeper relationships that may last you, many, many years. And how to
Wow.
find them, literally just like, what are you interested in?
Craigslist. I'm just kidding.
Craigslist.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
meet a
kidding.
lot of people.
There's
I
a
meet
killer on there, you guys. What's going on?
I'm kidding.
No, but like not to be, it's like so many creative relationships and so many friendships have, for me, have been started on like Grindr or Scruff, and they're not even that I hooked up with the person. It's just like I meet tons of people on there, and it's like whatever your hobbies are, just like New York has an event or something for like every hobby that exists.
Every
So it's like
single
literally
thing.
just go to something that has to do with something you like and talk
love
to
it.
somebody. That's it.
And feel alive and have fun.
Yeah.
Have
I want to.
fun, people. Just
Yeah.
like fucking dance your fucking face off.
I love
Dance.
that. And
Have
I'm gonna
fun.
come from a
Fun. It's
completely
okay.
different.
We all came out of another with the fucking quarantine. I know it's hard, but
Yeah.
have fun. Have fun.
Yes. I agree,
Try.
Rosie. And I'm gonna say include your boyfriend or your partner as well. That's another option. You can totally take him with you and find your own identity as well. So that's what I have to say.
Says the man with the boyfriend. Love it.
Love
Love it.
I don't
All
have a
right.
boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Is it-
Yeah, actually, Rosie, single on the market right now? Yes, no. Simple yes or no?
Yes, I'm
Single.
single on the market.
Okay,
Yes.
got it. We'll list your Ryan. Are you single or are you partnered up? We just got to ask.
I have a boyfriend.
Oh, of course you do. Okay.
But he's
We're open.
Oh.
We're not like emotionally open, but we
But you're open.
yeah, we're open.
The leg's open.
It
Okay.
could happen.
And lastly, Kodi, are we having them play our last favorite game?
Yeah, you guys.
I'm going to let you. There you go ahead and describe what the game is.
So it's straight up gay porn thirst trap recap. If you guys want to click to the chat
Yay.
portion of it and click on it and look and see who you pick for your favorite thirst trap of the week. We do this every week. We play this game.
Okay.
So
I love
you
it.
you have to descriptively describe why. Who the person is and why you picked them, basically, because this show gets repackaged for an audio podcast as well. While they're looking, I'm going to start. So I was going to not pick this person, but it's just a video of Nico Koopa. He's in a beautiful green room with all of these beautiful plants and flowers and things of that nature, but he's on his knees on all fours with his butt shaking in the air, and I thought, how could I not pick this man? So that is my pick.
All right.
Good one.
And they are both looking at this list like, wow, yeah, and so much awe of all of these pictures, and I love it.
We have definitely good job. Does somebody have somebody
I found a hairy guy. Okay.
Wait,
Go
ahead.
look at everything.
Ooh.
All right, well, then I'll go while you're still
Whoa.
looking.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I discovered one that I've never heard of before. He goes by Los Rios or at Uncut Lock,
Okay.
LOC. He's Mexican. So a
Wow.
shout out to my Hispanic Heritage Month. I am Mexican American. He's Mexican. So he is in the video. Los Rios is fucking one of those, I guess it's a rubber silicone ass.
But
And the best part of it, he has a beautiful dick. The best part of it is his eyes are going behind his head as he's apparently ejaculating into it. And I'm living for that moment because it's so hot. And I had to replay it like 10 times. And then get
Okay,
back
I'm
to the
going
one.
for
Nice.
Nika Koopa.
Okay.
Yes, honey.
I got
Because
another
I
vote.
love black men. I just think they're so incredible and beautiful, and I don't know. I think his dick is beautiful. I love his hair. I love everything about him.
That's actually Elijah Zane because
Oh.
his name
Wait,
is
are
on
you
the
sure?
bottom. Yes. I know
Wait.
I know Elijah Zane. I've seen him
It doesn't say.
several
Oh
videos
wait.
that he's been in.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works. But yeah, she was too excited about her pick.
I mean, I would be too, but because I saw
I
that
just
one. That was
thought
my number
I
two.
like I like the shot. Like I think it's a beautiful photograph of that person.
As a good cinematographer, I love it. Ryan, we got a couple seconds.
I
Here's
mean,
your
it's
pick.
not about the dick, okay? Or is it?
I'm gonna go with Cole Connor. He's
Oh,
he's doing this.
Ooh.
Cody.
I want to look at who he is.
I know.
Like, helicopter dick video or something. He's like swinging his dick around with a helicopter. I'm going with him because like I really like his build, and he's muscular but not like too muscular, and he's beefy but not too beefy, and then he has some tats but not too many tats. And he's those are all really attractive things to me.
He's kind of
You like moderation. I'm here for it.
and he's hairy, and I like hairy guys. So because
I like hairy guys too.
Great
What I like
descriptions, you
most is big-
guys.
What I like
Thank
most is
you.
big dicks.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Am I alone?
No, you're not.
Okay.
Once again, thank you so much for playing along. We really appreciate it. And everybody watching, this show gets repackaged. Thanks to Ryan Czerwonko, director and lead actor in the film Last Call, and the cinematographer editor, Rosie Soko. We love you so much. We will list your...
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. We'll keep up with the film, and congratulations on it. It really is an impactful film. I'm so glad I watched it twice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. One more time, how can we follow you, Ryan?
You can follow me at Ryan Czerwonko on Instagram, but I also have this other company called Adult Film, which is not a porn company. I know we're all just obsessed with porn.
We got all excited.
I was like, where?
There's hairy men on there too? What? But not too much hair, but a little bit of hair.
It blends theater performances and film screenings. So we have like a film and theater festival, and it's at adultfilm.nyc on Instagram. So
fabulous.
Yeah.
We'll list that on the TAGSPodcast.com. And one more time, Rosie, at Rosie Soko on Instagram.
Rosie Soko.
Love it. Thank you. Follow Kodi Maurice Doggette. He's a life coach at KMD Coaching or at Mr. Maurice. And follow us at Tags Podcast. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Always
guys.
continue having
Thank you for having us.
Gay.
Tags.
Tags.